Welcome back to the channel, guys. A few episodes ago we introduced the Jeep to the channel, and I told you that I'll be bringing you along the ride to show you all the little bits and pieces we're going to be doing. So we're going to do a few items today, nothing incredible or spectacular, but a few of the things that I want to start working on and get things done. But before we move on with anything, I'd like to say a huge thank you to all the medical staff out there, whoever's on the front line fighting the fight right now. We are eternally grateful for everything you're doing, for everybody that's containing the virus, for the men and women out there who are fighting the virus in the hospitals and ICUs. We are eternally grateful for everything you're doing, and as a nation I can't say there's no words to express our gratitude for what you guys are doing, so thank you very much. It means everything to us. So hopefully we can come out the other side and we can give each other a high five and at least give each other a hug on the other side. So yeah, really thank you for everything you guys are doing. And on a more lighter note, I'll take you through the things that we're going to be doing on the Jeep today. So let's get into it. What are you guys doing in here? Right, so some work on the engine bay that we're going to be doing. We did give it a clean some time ago, but what we're going to do is we're going to change the distributor cap to a performance distributor cap, change the HT leads out, do that, and then we'll check the spark plugs while we're at it. We might give the engine another clean. It's been dusty and sitting for some time. We did previously change the lights to these LED ones, which have made a huge improvement on the light quality. And we previously changed the if you guys can see that down there, the oil pressure sender. Basically what that does on the gauges, on your cluster gauges, it'll come up as check gauges on the oil pressure, and yeah, that's the culprit. So we changed that little bugger out, which is a quick fix. We're going to be changing we're going to be more sprucing up the bumpers. So we're going to take these off today and then give them a Raptor coating, front and rear. So do that. And these armor plates that we've got here, we're going to take them off as well, because there is a little bit of rust on the bottom. So we're going to see if we can catch that as soon as we can. We're going to take those off, and then I've designed a side step that will be basically the same size, because my wife is 5'2". She struggles to get in and out of the Jeep, so we need to get a side step to help her get in and out. So I've designed one, and we'll be fabricating a side step that is basically, it will utilize the same sort of profile and protection. Yeah, so moving on to the rear, we're going to do exactly the same to the rear bumper. We're going to be taking that off and giving a Raptor coat. And then for the rear wheel, it's not ideal that it's exposed to the sun all the time, so we've got a tyre cover that we're going to chuck on there. And on our Jeep, when we got it, we didn't have this squeaky door. We didn't have this bar over here that basically pulls out the soft top, and then obviously creates this water seal, so when rain runs off here, it runs straight over the door. So previously it didn't, and basically this was sitting at the other side of the door, and as you can see inside, we've got quite a bit of rust, which is not good. So what's happened is the water is collected on top of this shelf, and then it's run down and it's affected the carpet. So luckily there's not a lot of rust damage under this, so it's just mainly water and it's been soaked up with the carpet. So we'll be removing this today, getting all the old paint off, and we'll be Raptor coating that as well. So it'll be a nice fresh little parcel shelf we've got in here. So yeah, those are the items we're doing. So I went to a website and got all the gear from gp.com. Really great website. You can get everything and anything for all the different varieties of Jeeps. So we've got the performance HT leads, we've got a new gas cap, the old one is a bit tattered. We've got a new distributor cap, this is a performance one, so that'll be changed out. We've got a new air filter, and obviously the tyre cover. So it's a nice durable tyre cover. The only thing is we couldn't get oil because of the current climate, so we were struggling to get oil, so we'll get that at another time. So we drop the oil out. I want to change all the oils and have a nice fresh start on the Jeep in terms of oils and spark plugs, whatever. So yeah, right, without further ado, let's get into it. Bumper is off. A few little problems along the way. As you can see, there's a lot of rust, and this bolt was basically in there and rusted in place, so we had to pry that out. That was obviously a previously broken bolt, and I managed to snap off a bolt in the process as well. This is how badly rusted these bolts were at the front, so some of the threads are very damaged. So I'm going to have to replace these bolts. And another thing that I'm going to have to figure out is basically in the chassis you've got these welded in nuts. So you had another couple that were tack welded in here. With the amount of rust, they've just basically spun straight off. So I'm going to have to get some nuts tack welded in here somehow. Bottom is okay. It's kind of windy today, so the lights obviously hang out of the way. I've got these studs. These were okay, luckily, so I had to apply some heat. I've got the blowtorch out, apply some heat to get these loose. It's a WD-40, and these will clean up nicely, so they're okay. Which is good. Same with this side, so luckily this bottom bolt is fine. So we'll just clean this up, and then we lost the front bolt again. It's just tack welded, that just spun straight off. The back one seems to be okay, the thread's fine. So yeah, a bit of a pick a wreck. So next issue is the power steering guard. You've got another bolt that sits underneath here, and that goes into this chassis rail. Now the same thing's happened. The little tacks off the nut is basically snapped straight off, and basically the bolt is just spinning around, so which again is not good, because if I want to get this off, if we need to repair this part, then yeah, we're gonna have a field day getting this off. So I think it's a matter of cutting the bolt off, and then somehow getting in there and tack welding a nut in place, and then getting a new nut and bolt in there. So yeah, a bit of welding to do. And as for while I've been down here, I've noticed that the sway bar is kind of moved over one side a bit, so it's a bit closer to the chassis there. You can see it's probably touching the chassis at the back there, which is not good. So I'm going to shift the sway bar across this side, because you've got a decent gap there, and on this side. So yeah, I'll do that. I'll adjust the sway bar too, so I'll get that done. And we've got a steering damper on the way. This one is unfortunately, it's seen better days, it's leaking, so we're going to take that off, and we've got a new one when that comes. We're going to install that. So yeah, the bumper's off, the number plate off, everything is just so rusty because it's been sat around. So what we'll do is just clean this up. Gosh, that wind is hectic. We'll clean this up, and then we get some Raptor paint on this, on the front bumper, and then we'll get Raptor paint on the rear bumper. So, and we've managed to take out the shelf. As you can see, the rust is quite bad on this, so we're going to have to sand all this down, and we'll Raptor coat this as well. So yes, it has made some damage to the carpet. It's not too bad. I mean, it can wash out, which is it's alright. It's not the end of the world. Thankfully, there's not a lot of rust damage to the body or anything like that, which is good. It's very superficial, which is okay. Awesome. So yeah, let's get into figuring out how to get this front bumper sorted, and then we'll figure out, well, this back bumper should be a lot easier, because what we've got is 2 bolts this side. We've got to take this light off, and then there's 2 bolts on the other side. We just got to take them off, and this bumper should slide straight off, this is nice and easy. The front bumper wasn't so easy, so yeah, we've got some figuring out to do in terms of welding. And then we've got to do the belly pan. I want to take that off, and the guards on the sides, we want to take them off as well. Yeah, so give everything a good old clean, check all the bolts, and then pretty much go from there. So yeah. Rear bumper's off. Okay, ran into another problem. Like the front bumper, we unfortunately snapped off another bolt. So yeah, not good. But it's not the end of the world. Luckily, we've still got a stud left, so I'm just gonna see how I'm gonna get that out. I don't want to really use heat on it because I think I'm gonna make it brittle. So I'm gonna try and get it out, ease it out as much as I can. If it does break off, I'll just drill it out and retap the hole, so it's not really a big issue. So, but for now, I'm going to sand this down, sand that, get it prepped for paint, for the Raptor coating, because it's going to look really smart with the Raptor coating. It's nice and dark black, and it's a really tough, durable paint, so I'll show you guys that shortly. So I'm going to prep these first, and then I'm going to get these guards off. I'm going to get them off. I think I'm going to run into a couple more problems there. Excuse the wind, guys. So yeah, I need to get these guards off. I'm going to check the rust underneath because it is slightly peeling, so I want to get that off because we are going to be replacing this, like I mentioned before. We're going to renew them. But on the plus side, we changed the distributor cap and all the HT leads to high performance ones, so it's all plumbed in, ready, it started, dropped in the new air filter, nice and clean in there. So I'll keep the old one, the old distributor cap. It's not really bad, I just need to clean it up, keep it good for a spare, just get all that residue off there. Clean these up, so I can definitely keep these as spares, so I'm going to keep those. And then while we were at it, this is the air filter. Not really that bad, to be fair, but yeah, it's good that we changed it. It's a little bit mucky, so it's nice and fresh. And then while we were at it, we changed the gas cap, so we've got a nice new gas cap. That's a new one, it's cool. The old one was pretty tatty. Get the old one there. So yeah, it's just just old. So we got a new one, nice and fresh. Yeah. So let's get down to sanding, get this done. Yeah, let's get straight into it. Righty, I've set up a makeshift spray tent, my spray shack should we call it. Okay, and I've got suspended the back bumper and the front bumper, so I've got ease of spraying. I get around all the angles. We've got the front hoop, we've got the recovery points, and we've got the real parcel shelf we're going to be spraying. And this is the product that I'm going to be using. It's called the Raptor. It's tough protective coating. This one kit, it's a 700ml bottle. There's quite a lot of stuff in there, so you can apply on this as the hardener. That's just water anyway, so don't worry about that. And then in this kit it comes with an applicator gun, which is that there. What I will mention is that this is quite a powerful gun. So in terms of applying this to any of the products, it's going to take some practice. So yes, that's kind of what we're going to do. I'm going to spray these things up. I'm going to do probably a test on the partial shelf because it's got nice flat surfaces, and I want to see how the texture comes out with the gun on different sort of distances. So we'll work that out, and then once I've got it tweaked, then I can move on to the rest of the stuff, make sure it's nice and neat and tidy. But yeah, and then safety first. Got my mask, ready to rock and roll. So yeah, let's get this done. Okay, we're back. We sprayed these last night. These have been curing overnight in a heated room. Excuse me, it is blowing an absolute hoolie today. Wow. Yeah, so we've sprayed these, Raptors coated them, they've been curing. It takes about an hour to go touch dry, and then to fully cure, it's about 5 to 7 days. So we've got decent weather ahead, it's not too bad. So I'm gonna chuck these on and they can have all the time they need to cure. So the texture is pretty good. You can get a finer texture if you kind of water it down with thinners and you thin it down, but I would recommend using a gravity fed spray gun. Otherwise you're going to get this rough texture, but if that's the texture you're after, then just use the gun, the applicator gun that you get with it. The hoop's been done, recovery points and that, so we're going to chuck those on. All done. So we're going to leave the spotties off because they're old, and yeah, so we're going to probably get some LEDs, or we're going to get a whole new bumper system, probably a winch bumper system. We're looking at the rough country one. That comes with a light bar and all those kind of things, and we'll do that at a later stage, but it looks so much better, much cleaner. We did the rear. Lot better, looks so much better. If any of you Jeep owners out there who have issues with your locks, now I had an issue with this rear lock. This door is squeaky. So basically what's happening in the lock system, this lever here, if it's been sitting for quite a while, this tends to get jammed up. So yeah, so if you grease this up, loosen it up, and then it will free up. Let's get the keys and I'll show you. Smooth. So now it locks now. So we had an issue where this didn't lock, so in terms of security it was obviously not ideal, but it locks now, so which is awesome. Let's just close that. There we go, it's locked now. Can't open it. Boom. Wow, I need to grease that up. Yeah, so we have a couple of problems with the other doors as well, so I'm going to check that out. So we've done a few things. Redid the shelf. That looks so much cleaner, much better. We're going to clean the carpets at a later stage. But yeah, for these the lock's pretty easy. I think it's a T30 Torx head, and that just comes off, and then you just grease up. You've got full access to all the locks. It's a pretty simple lock as well. So yeah, I'd like to thank you guys for joining me in this episode. Hopefully you've learned something. I'm learning so much working on this Jeep, and it's a good thing that we're doing what we're doing, even though we might be changing the bumpers out, you know, in the future. But it's a good thing that we're going over things with a fine-tooth comb and getting rid of all this rust. So yeah, if you find this video useful, give us a thumbs up, and if you haven't already done so, please consider subscribing. Share us with your friends, and hopefully we'll get out on some more trips when all this stuff ends. And from myself and my family, we wish you all the very best, and we hope everybody stays well and we all get through this together. And lastly, I would like to say again, reiterate, we are eternally grateful for everything that the emergency services are doing for everybody, and everybody on the front line fighting this. So thank you very much. From Makina Designs, huge thank you. So hopefully we will see you guys in the next one.